Hello, Candice Sanderson, author of The Reluctant Messenger. Welcome to the new year, 2020. I wanted to share with you the first meditation I had of this new year. It was on January 3rd. I was at Goddess I Am, which is a wonderful metaphysical shop here in Naples, Florida, where I live. And as usual, I got there early. I like to sit in the meditation room. I usually pick up on energy from the room. Sometimes I get messages. And usually what I get is then validated once Beth starts the meditation. It's like I get a cosmic heads up on, what is to come. So I was sitting there reading the energy of the room. The energy was very exciting, very almost frenetic. It was like popcorn that was just popping, like kernels of energy that were seemed to be flying everywhere, just seeking a little niche to settle in. Then all of a sudden, my journaling stopped because it was interrupted by Stewie, one of the four-legged friends at Goddess I Am. His human mother works there, and sometimes we're lucky when she brings Stewie in to visit. Now, Stewie had visited me a few minutes before. He wagged his tail, said hello, but this time he came back, and it was purposeful. He came and sat right in front of me and looked straight up into my eyes, and I realized he needed some help, and he was communicating with me. He told me he had been having trouble with his hip. It was giving him some pain, something in the hip area. And I saw a picture of a small stool or an ottoman that he normally can jump on without any difficulty. And I saw this picture of him straining, and I knew it was causing him pain when he would do that. I started petting him, and then as I did, he closed his eyes, and I realized I was actually sending healing energy to him. So I continued to do that, and then when Stewie determined that it was time for the session to be over, he stood up, licked his lips as if to say thank you, and then he trotted on out the door to see his human mom. I didn't have a chance to talk to his human mom until the following week. And I told her what I had done. But I first asked her if he had any difficulty with his hips. And his mom said that he has this chronic condition. He has a recurring cyst on his left hip that will fill with fluids and cause him a lot of pain. Then it will, dissipate, and then it starts over again. And then she volunteered, before I told her what I had done, she volunteered that in the last week, he was really different, and she had even mentioned to her husband that he, certainly seemed better. That's when I told her what happened, and I knew that as I was working with him, I was helping him to alleviate the pain. So that was a nice validation. But back to the message. Once Stewie trotted out of the room, I picked up my journal again, and this time a message came in. So let me just read that message to you. Lines are being drawn like ley lines. Paths shall be lit, showing you the way. Others may seek you and follow you, yet others may drop away, for it is their path, their own path, that they must follow. This is a new year and a new choice. Allow each breath to fill you with light. This light runs through the meridians of the energy body, lighting your own path, that path specific to you. With this comes entrainment as it connects to the external network of light, the grid of light. Subtle energy bodies will become brighter. Trust. This new year is a year of trust in the vibrational frequencies that surround you. Walk forward one step at a time, allowing true guidance to light your way. And after the message, at this point, I started having this vision of an active volcano. Hot lava was just streaming down the sides of the steep sides of the volcano. And as it flowed, it created new trenches in the landscape, creating new paths of liquid light. that just flowed. And in reference to my vision, the message started up again. Let me read this. This is like the pathway of the heart. This is the year of guidance. Walk without fear. Walk with abandon. Walk without hesitation. Believe in the light that lives within your soul, for it is a living entity filled with life force energy. As you become more enlightened, these subtle clues become apparent. But you need to take the first step. Trust in your heart and step forward on the path of the divine, your divinity. Step into that light that you are and embrace it from the love within your heart. By this time, the others had gathered for the meditation. Beth came in, and as usual, she has us begin by taking a few very deep meditative breaths. And as I did that, the first breath, the soles of my feet felt like they were on fire. I felt like I was stepping on lava. I remembered I had just seen a volcano and the paths from the lava flowing, but this was lava from deep within the earth that was coming up. And in my mind's eye, it felt like the above and the below were connecting, and then another brief message began. The real connection begins with the sacred communion with the spirit of Earth, of Mother Earth. And then with that message, I saw two luminous grids. One of them surrounded Earth. It was actually embedded a few feet below the surface of the Earth. And the other was a much larger grid, a luminous grid that surrounded the Earth, like high in the atmosphere of the Earth. I took another breath, and as I did, a third grid appeared, but this time it was a grid over my physical body. From a bird's eye view, I scanned my body, and my intuition came in, and I started seeing a few spots in my body that were duller than the other areas. So I knew intuitively I could send energy from my heart, healing energy to those spots, and that would help brighten them. And I realized that this grid of light within my body was connected to the other two grids, and that was exactly what the messengers had said, that there was light that would travel through the meridians of the body, and it was connected to an external grid. And it also made me realize, if that's what had happened with Stewie, had I connected to his luminous grid, but before I actually realized it was there, before I realized I could access that, as we become more enlightened, we sometimes step outside of our zones that we're comfortable with. And as we traverse new territory, we need to learn to trust our gut, trust our intuition, trust our guidance. But I always ask a few questions. Is the guidance from my heart? Does it feel good? Does it help? Is it for the greater good? Basically, does it make my heart sing? And if it does, I certainly embrace that and go with the flow, and I allow that guidance to help me. This is how emotional guidance works. You know when it's true. You know when it's right. And if you follow it, it will help lead you on a path of wisdom and love and compassion. So my wish for everyone is that this new year of 2020 will be a very blessed year for everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. You can also subscribe if you would like. You can follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. You can also, check out my webpage. If you're interested in reading the written blog of this experience, it's listed below in the description. So until next time, I hope everyone has a great day. Goodbye.